and like, you're too noisy. And like, I said, you don't have to be around me.
Friendship may actually go beyond just relating on
A superficial basis.
basis.
There's the adage that says, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
There are some of us who are not very good at regular visit, but because they are friends,
You have
in
to.
order to maintain that friendship.
The emotional state of the parents is usually directly proportional to the emotional state of
the children.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to our favorite family show right here on Equa Television International, The Living Room. We use this opportunity to wish you a happy new year, a blessed 2023. My name is Amaka Ocheke, and in the studio with me today is Mrs. Ivy Namo, as usual.
Good evening, viewers, and Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Yes, and then we have a first timer here, Mr. Jezreel Oppa.
Yes, good evening, viewers.
Yes, Jezreel works with young people, and he's also into the accounting profession.
Yes.
So he's a young person. That's why we have him today. So this year, this episode, we want to be talking about stepping into the new year. And okay, maybe we'll start with Mrs. Namo. You know, she always has something to say about everything. So what is it about the new year? What's exciting about the new year?
Well, the new year brings like new hope, new opportunity to dream again, to make what some people call resolutions, to set out a plan for moving forward, to take decision for and against some things in your life, concerning your job, concerning things that you want to do. I think New Year provides you with new opportunity to start again.
Fresh start.
Yeah.
Okay, Jezreel, are you excited about the new year? And if you are, why? If you are not, why not?
Okay, I am actually excited, just as Ominamo said. New Year, there is this feeling that it comes with. You begin actually to expect new things, even if that's not the case previously, but there is a way that it actually comes with this new hope, new expectation, and you kind of believe that it will be different from the previous. And it's with that faith actually that I entered the new year, and I'm excited about it, not knowing what lies ahead, but I am actually excited that it's definitely going to be better than the previous years. And that is also because of, she talked about the resolutions and then the plans that people actually make. Having seen how the past year was, you try actually to take a stock of what really happened last year, what were the good, what were the bad, what were the ugly situations, and then now you put everything in perspective to see how the year will be better. So I'm actually excited about the new year.
So what are your plans?
I
I know you won't share all with us, but the ones you can share, tell us.
Okay,
Maybe we challenge our viewers.
well, my plans actually are categorized into different aspects of my life. Have the spiritual goal, so to say, right? As I grow older, I actually decide that, okay, I have to actually grow intimate with God. So I take spiritual goals that will help me to be intimate with God. That will mean that perhaps I need to increase my prayer time. I need to pray more, pray about everything, and to study my Bible, as well as maybe be in a community of people or believers. So that is one aspect. So as I'm saying that, I actually have plans for different aspects of my life. The academic, I am actually trying to pursue particular program which I didn't do so well last year. And this year, actually, I'm taking measures to see that I do better this time around. And different other aspects of my life, I have plans for them. As you said, some of them I would not like to share. So they are kind of personal.
So, Mrs. Namo, do you have,
Yeah.
are there some plans for this year that you want to share?
Yeah, I have goals. I have plans for the year. Like he said, I have spiritual goals. I have, goals for my education. I have plans to.
Yeah, so that education. You must defend this PhD this year.
Amen.
You must defend it.
I
Amen.
have plans for that. I have plans, for conferences outside the country, because most of the conferences I've gone are within. So I'm targeting to go outside for conferences. I've set a lot of things in, writing goals in my mind, and some I've put down. And then just last year, towards the end of last year, I started planning a kind of Bible study outline for myself. I wanted to do a 2 or 3 years. I mapped it out in a way that it would take me like 2 or 3 years to study the Bible completely. I have done it 1 year, but there's one map out that I did. It's going to take me like 3 years to cover the Bible, but it's systematic, and I intend to follow up with it strictly. It's going to, it can keep me in one chapter, in a chapter for a long time. I just want to do something. I don't want to do, okay, I read 5 chapters a day. I don't want to do
deep roots.
Yes,
now.
I don't want to do 5 chapters a day, 6 chapters. Oh, 1 year I have finished the Bible. No, I mapped out to do this study for the next 3 years, and I'm hoping I'll be able to meet my target, and several other things
which
my
you are not
family.
ready to mention here. So, viewers, listening to them, what comes to mind to me is that they have big dreams. You hear her saying going abroad, and Nigeria now that dollar, the value, the dollar is rising against the naira.
Yeah.
And when you look at things around us, it's easy to get discouraged. But you see, these guys, they are not deterred by the situation in Nigeria, and it's because they serve a very big God.
Yeah.
So that's why they are dreaming big. So viewers, we are not going to have the opportunity to phone in today during our program. However, we can send in a message through our Facebook page. So please go there and drop your message, and we'll respond to whatever it is you have contributed to the conversation that is ongoing. Me too, I have dreams for this year, so that it will not be that I'm not spiritual like them. Me too. I've planned some have plans for deeper Bible studies. I've even started, there's this Bible plan on studying the Bible again. I've gone through, and I hadn't approached Bible study like that. I'm going to try something new this year and see how it goes. Maybe international travel. Well, we serve a big God. I know he's not deterred by circumstances and situations.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, before we now look at how we should plan our year, people usually, as you said, people look at the new year as a fresh start, So let's start with, why do people's plans fail? I think that's where I want to start with, so that we can now talk on properly how to plan so that it works, right? So maybe Mrs. Namo, as I said, you have a lot to say about many things. Why do people's plans fail? Because New Year, I read something today. They said by the 8th day of the year, about 30% of people have already failed on their New Year resolutions. And by the end of the month, over half have fallen off. So many people do not. So why do people fail?
I think one of the reasons is because people plan, you do a plan that is not attainable. You have these bogus, unrealistic goals. You set out a goal that even you know that it's okay. I know that God is big, but then I don't think you should be mapping out plan in people's pockets. I think you should plan looking at
Please
yourself.
say it well, so that maybe people don't plan with people's pockets. Don't plan with another person's money.
Okay, just like I said, I'm thinking of international conference. I'm not thinking of, oh, okay, international conference is going to cost me maybe ₦1 million, and I'm thinking, oh, okay,
all my friends will
Auntie
contribute.
Amaka will give me 500,000, and
Yes,
then somebody. No, but I'm thinking, okay, I have. This is my salary. What if I save like this, you know? At the end of the day, if I get help, fine. If I don't get help, but I still know that I have put something aside, you know.
To make
So
it work.
don't make unrealistic goals. That's one of the reasons why go fails.
It's unrealistic goals, planning with other people's money.
Pocket. Secondly, I think also you should write out your plan. There are times when I write out, okay, like the Bible study I was talking about, on the eve of New Year, I actually, not eve of New Year, 2 days to New Year, I actually sat down, I took a memo, and I wrote down the Bible study plan. And I told myself, this and this will last for so, this and this will last for so. It helps you to go back, you know, so that you don't forget. Sometimes you have even forgotten that you took a plan.
So we need to write down
Down your
One of
plan
these because
and
people
goals.
don't write.
Write down
So
your
easily forget,
plan and goal. And when you write it down, you'll be able to run with it. You go back and look at it. How far have I gone?
So you can
What
be
have I
assessing your
done?
progress.
What have I not done? What am I going to push forward? What should I knock out that is no longer visible, and all that. Another thing is, I think we should also learn to pray about our plans, because the Bible says that it is for man to plan, but God is the one that brings about the completion of the plan. So you don't plan and exclude God as a Christian. Whatever you are planning, you must consciously submit it. Even Bible study plan. Don't be too holy to think that, oh, I'm so spiritual, I have mapped out Bible study plan and I'm going to hit it. You have to pray consistently, because there's somebody who doesn't want you to meet the Bible study plan. And that's the enemy. So you need to commit it to God. God, this is my plan. Please carry me. I need see me through it and walk with it. And you know, so people don't pray about plans. People don't pray.
I think it's not just even praying that the plan works, but even as you are trying to come up with the plans, you should ask for the Holy Spirit's direction.
Exactly.
So that the plans you're coming up with are in sync with what God wants.
Yeah.
Don't plan something that God is not planning.
And this New Year resolution, why are you taking a resolution? Okay, I used to drink before. Oh, I will drink till 12 midnight, then I will stop drinking. If you don't work on the things that is causing you to drink, you will not stop drinking. You will only delay drinking for a while. You will go back to it. That's how it works. So New Year resolutions, before you make a resolution, I think you should work on yourself. What are the things that is making me to make this mistake?
So you need to explore the circumstances
that pushes
push
you
to do
and
the
work
thing.
on them. Try to delete them. Is it your friends? Is it the places you go to? It might even be, you know, it's just like somebody said on a lighter note that you say you don't want to drink and you're working in a brewery.
You must drink.
You will drink somehow because you will taste what you are producing. So
the smell is
yeah,
coming.
so
It's
you
very easy,
can't.
it's just all
Yes,
around
you can't be making a resolution not to do a particular thing, and everything around you is that thing. It won't work. So for you to make a resolution, you have to look around you first. What do I need to drop? What should go? It could be friends. Sometimes it could be friends that you hold so dear, and you have to tell one of my mentors will say you need to rewrite some relationships. Some relationship needs to be redefined. Redefine them if they are the ones that are pushing you into going back, having a relapse every other year. Why don't you say enough is enough? Friend, you are
Change
very
your
good,
friends.
oh, please, but this time I want to focus on something else. It's not going to kill you. So you need to work at what exactly you want and delete those things from that could make you go back to them before you even begin to say you want to take a resolution. Okay. I think those will help.
For now, we're still coming back to it because I know your brain is already has more things to say. So it's just what other things have you noticed that makes, from your experience and that of others, that make people not to carry out the things they plan for the new year?
Okay, I think one of the reason I would say is lack of discipline. As we have said, there are unrealistic plans, but even realistic plans will not be achieved if discipline is not employed into achieving that plan. Okay, you might set a resolution even to read Genesis, right? As small as Genesis is, without discipline, you'll not be able to achieve it. Some people
here, just what you say Genesis is very small. For the something
For the
chapter.
something chapter.
This one is almost a pastor.
Okay, so it could be realistic, but some people is just mere optimism, right? It could be something that you will achieve even within the few months of the year. Yet discipline will make you to procrastinate. Indiscipline rather will make you actually to procrastinate, so much so that even if the thing is achievable within the shortest time frame, you will see yourself not being able to achieve it because you do not actually stand up to the requirements of all that is needed for you to actually achieve that very goal. So that is actually number one, right? Many
Lack
people,
of discipline.
yes, many people just enter the new year with just mere optimism. This is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. And then at the end of the day, they don't actually do it. Some of them go ahead to even map out, plan. They know how to do it, when to do it. The only thing is that they never get to do it because actually discipline is lacking. Because most of the goals stretches us beyond our
Comfort zone.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you really need to really be serious. And another thing also is, as we have said, you don't take a stock of what actually happened in the past, right? What happened in the past. If personally right now, let me bring an example. Most of the time actually I say I don't have time and I buy food outside. And I think it was this year, it just occurred to me, it was not part of my resolution. I was like, for how long will I eat outside? So a day before I resumed work last week, I just cooked. I took it to work. So it saved me from buying food that time. I would have spent more money. The food might not have been so nice, and then maybe that would have been draining my finances. So if I want to save more money this year, I have to actually sit down. What are those things that are taking my money away? Are they actually needs or something that is very
wants.
wants? Things that are very frivolous that are actually sapping my money. If I don't actually sit and then assess the situation, especially as relating to how the past year has been, I wouldn't be able to actually make any headway in terms of goals to achieve in that aspect of my life, right? So that is one. And then the other thing, just as she said, you have to write. Most of the time we just think as if we have everything on our head. But see, just few hours, few days into it, you begin to forget some things because I believe that your goals, you will have how to achieve them. Just yesterday we had meeting, and after we had meeting, I kept the jotter and I was like, oh, it's just fresh. I can be able to remember everything. After typing, this morning actually I came and then I checked the jotter. I realized that there were many things that I left out that I felt maybe I was able to write everything about the meeting. So this is actually, that's how some people take their goals. They don't write it. They just have it on their head. So they begin to forget some things and how to achieve them. And then at the end of the day, they are unable to achieve a lot of things and they wouldn't be able to make the progress they actually set to.
And I think one other thing is that people make goals, but they never start. You know, you need to take that first step.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So sometimes that fear makes people not to take the first step. You know, you're like, this is too big for me.
Yes.
Though it's a realistic goal, but you need to take that
Yes.
first step. If you don't take the first step, it's not ever going to happen.
Yes.
So at least start now. Let it be that you failed, but you've made an effort. If you fail, next time you reassess again and you try to be better at what you do. Okay.
Very true.
Have you remembered any other reason why people
I was
fail?
also
Because
thinking about what is your motivation for setting that goal? Okay, I said I wanted to go for international conference. Why? Is
If
it
you want
just
to prepare
because
us.
everybody is going for
You want to
international
prepare us?
conference.
You want to prepare us so that next time when we ask, where did Mrs. Namu, why is she not on the program? I
Say,
say, oh, she went to
for
Canada.
international. if what is motivating you is because you want to show off to your friends, you know, I've heard people say, I've read the Bible back to back. That's not a motivation for Bible goal. If your motivation is that you want to know God more, you want to discover things more, this Bible, there's still some things you feel like you wanted to learn. You want to learn.
There's so much to learn. I
it
never
will-
finished
it will
learning the
help.
word.
It will help you. But if you sat in church, it's just like there was a time we went for a meeting, a mission conference or so. And the missionary came and he talked, and by the time he finished talking, he now said, how many people want to be missionary? And more than half of the congregation went out to
Really?
give up themselves. People like us sat down. And it was like, with all these things that this man said, you were not moved. I said, no, I'm moved, but I'm
there are
doing
some things-
calculations.
There are some things you don't do emotional response to, or else
No, so
you
don't
become a liar.
Yeah, don't take quick step to set goals. Think about it. Think about your goals. What exactly do you want to achieve? Why the goal in the first place? Because if you have a why, the why will push you. If you don't have a why, sometimes that's why the goal fizzles out. It just goes with the wind.
Because there's no reason or there's no good
if
reason.
you have a why, the why will always resonate in your heart, because you know it will push you to, you remember that this is the reason why you wanted to do this thing, and it will push you to do those things. So I think people should set goals not because they want to show off, or because they want to make other people to know they too can do it, or because they listen to somebody who
Their
thought
emotional-
and
so emotional
emotions
response.
just went wild, and then they took a decision and said, no, me too. If this uncle can read Bible in 1 year, me too, I want to read the Bible. What exactly is pushing you to read the Bible in 1 year? I think those things will help us.
Okay, great.
I think, yeah, another thing I'm thinking is, I'm talking as a young person now. We usually don't have people who we are accountable to. That not every goal I need to share, but there are some I think I need to share, because a lot of young people are actually distracted, right? They are distracted. A lot of things will actually distract you from your goal. So if you have maybe a little group of people that you actually trust,
Hold you accountable.
yes, that will hold you accountable. Intermittently, they will be checking up on you. How about this aspect of your life? If you really mean business, I think most of the time, them checking up on you will make you to be able to attain your goals at the end of the day. Then the God factor is something that is very, very key. You cannot just take God out of it, because the life that you have is even His, and everything that you think you want to achieve. As we have said, what is the motivation? What is the goal? What is the end of it? Is it actually to glorify God or to exalt yourself, right? That even in the process of making the goal, as you said, we pray, so that some of those things, even as you're about to write them, you begin to see some of those things you begin to think on your head. They don't actually make it to the goal, because God will begin to speak to your heart. He sieves them. And even at the end of the day, some things do not necessarily work after putting all the energy and all of that. You don't get frustrated, because you know that you actually involved God, and He was able to see everything through.
So, viewers, we've heard why our goals have been failing. So now we'll look at how we should set goals, and the things we need to put in place to make sure that our goals for the new year work. So how do we set, okay, Mrs. Namu, how do you set goals? Do you set as an individual? Do you set as a family? How?
Yeah, you can set individual goals, and you can set family goals. Individual goals are things that you want to achieve by
For
yourself, that could help you. And family goals are goals that you sit down as a family. Okay, this year we want to finish our house. This year we want to have like 2 or 3 all nights in this house. this year we want to buy a new car, this year we need to renovate something, okay, and things like that. So family goals are very important, and personal goals are also very important. And I think the two should go together. If you are a married person, you should have personal goals. You should also have family goals. It's very important that you have family and personal goals. It's also very important that you set goals for different aspects of your life.
Okay, as you guys had said.
Yes.
So so what are the aspects? You
have
guys have mentioned spiritual.
goals. You have financial goals. Don't just enter the new year spending money anyhow. You know, just this morning, someone called me and said, I came back from Johnny. I brought also, I say, in January, please.
Oh, she brought something for you to buy.
I say, leave me out.
That?
I say, please
January.
leave me out of it.
January.
You know, but she said, Anna, you can come and pick. I said, I am not coming to pick. Just leave me out. So we need to set financial goals for the year. You know, as I entered this year, I told myself that there are so many things I do not want to buy, especially clothing, you know, this year, because I looked at myself, the clothes I have, how many have I worn, that I want to be purchasing and purchasing. So you need to set financial goals. You need to set goals for academic goals.
Or profession and your profession.
You know, you shouldn't remain in the same place for the rest of your life. I challenge a lot of young people who work in the office with me. I say, you are a cleaner, and 5 years, 6 years, you are working in the university, and you are still a cleaner. 10 years, 15
and they retire
years,
there.
And you retire as a cleaner in the university. It doesn't make sense. You say, so what will I do? I say, what will you do? Go for evening classes. You don't clean from morning till midnight. You have leisure in the evening, around 4, 5 in the evening. Go for evening classes. Take lessons. Improve yourself. I know, and you know, I give an example of a few who have done that. And there are people who started as lab attendants. Today, they are even doctors. There are people who started as lab attendants. Today, they are technologists. You don't just sit down there.
I even know somebody who was working, he was a lab person, lab technician or something while I was in the university. Today he's a PhD in law.
You see?
He's a lecturer.
Wow.
You see?
But the first time I knew him, he was working in a physiology lab when I was a med student.
You see? So you need to set educational goals. You need to set, in fact, as an academic, there are several things I still want to learn. I told myself that, okay, I'm a counselor. I want a PhD in counseling, but I'm not going to stop there. There are other related fields to counseling that I want to explore.
That would help you.
Yes, that will help me. I went to meet somebody in law. I said, I discovered that there are some ethical issues that, you know, can affect me if I want to maybe go into private practice later in counseling. So I want to know about law of the land, where should I reach, where should I not reach. So they advised me on which area of law I could go. You know, so I'm already planning, even though I'm not through with it, but I'm already planning ahead.
The next step.
I was talking to somebody in psychology. I said, I want to do something in psychology. It's related to my field. You know, so don't just pack your
So when
eggs.
you're doing something in psychology, me too, I want to do something in psychology. But I don't want something that will stress me too much.
Yeah.
But I need some more information.
Information in psychology. So you don't pack your eggs and put them in one basket. I'm a counselor, and you just sit there. Even when they say go for, there was a time I was working in an area in the university before I went into lecturing, and there were some persons who were employed in that place as counselors, but they were not trained counselors. Okay. So I encourage some of them. I say, go and take lessons in counseling since you've been employed. Come for counseling conference. We
so that
entertain.
you grow
your
career in that path.
They say, no, I don't. I say, but your letter of appointment reads counseling. So people should learn to explore opportunities, look around you, and there are so many things you can learn. You should, as a woman, I want to learn more about cooking. I want to learn several
Why
other
you saying
ways.
as a woman?
To, okay, as a person, I want to learn
So that you
several
don't make
other.
Jezreel happy.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to cook.
You know, learn more
how
other
to
way
cook,
of
actually.
I
cooking.
know you know how to
know.
cook, but you can learn other ways.
I was
Yes,
cooking
that's
spaghetti in a particular way until my daughter came back, you know, from Ibadan. And, you know, when she cooked spaghetti, I said, come, this one. I don't know how to cook spaghetti like that. I say, okay, mommy, come, I'll teach you.
Wow.
And I have learned, you know. So there are several ways. I went somewhere and I ate my mind. The way they did the my I was saying, God, what did you people use? I want to know. So explore opportunities.
So just plan to be
plan
better.
to be better
Plan
in
to be
several
better.
areas of your life.
Okay, Jezreel, we'll get to you, but we need to go on break, and then when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. But before we go on break, I want to reiterate this point that as Christians, I don't think it's right that you remain the same year in,
after
year
year.
out. In your spiritual life, you have to grow.
Yeah.
And in your profession, I don't know why you will be, as she said, that work you have been doing, especially in the university where there's a opportunity for you to go to school. You will be a security man from when you were 25 and you retire at 60 as a security man. As a Christian, you have not done well. You must, even if you came in as a lecturer, you came in as a professor, let's assume like that, you cannot be the same type of professor.
Exactly.
You should be a better, improved version of that your professorship.
Yeah.
You can't remain the same. Christians must seek to be better and better in whatever God has placed in their hands to do. Remember last year's our theme, that we should occupy. So occupy, you cannot sit and remain the same unless Jesus will come back and find you like that servant who said, the talent you gave me, I buried it. You must improve the talent, growing it, so that he will tell you, well done, faithful servant. Okay, viewers, we're going on break. We'll be talking about entering into the new year, making New Year resolutions, the things that prevent us from achieving our goals for the new year. We've been here talking with Jezreel Opa and Mrs. Ibe Namu. All right, after the break, we'll continue the conversation. Please, if you have anything to contribute to this conversation, please go to our Facebook page and make your comments. We're not going to have calling today, but we can make comments on our Facebook page. See you right after the break. Don't touch that dial. Hello viewers, my name is Amaka Ocheke. We anchor the program, The Living Room, right here on Equa TV International.
You are welcome to watch us every Monday.
The Living Room is a very interesting family program where we discuss everything you want to know about family.
Talk about our children's mental health.
Keep watching. Our program is always here, 5:30 every Monday. We want you to ask questions. We want you to phone in and drop topics that you want us to talk about, even on our media handle on Facebook. We're there. So keep watching, keep listening. The Living Room. Hello viewers, welcome back from the break. We've been here at the Living Room on Equa Television talking about stepping into the new year, about setting goals, the things that prevent us from achieving goals, the kind of goals we should set and how we should go about them. And we went on break leaving the message that no Christian should remain the same in any sphere of his life. We must continually be a better version. Well, not necessarily, not better version, well, better version of ourselves, but looking unto Jesus, because our aim is to be like Jesus. And Jesus wasn't lazy, Jesus wasn't laid back. Jesus understood his Father's plan and made effort to fulfill it. So we should fulfill it. We must continually be better versions of ourselves so that we have increasing platforms to manifest and to be all that God has called us to be. So I've been here with Mrs. Ibe Namu and Mr. Jezreel Opa. powerfully talking about this topic. So we're back again. So, Jezreel, we'll start with you now, talking about what kind of goals to set. Mrs. Namo had told us that we need to set personal and family goals for those who have families. So,
Okay. Another area is relationship goals.
okay, so we've talked about spiritual goals, career, academic goals for those who are in school and you haven't started career, and then relationship goals.
Relationship goals, yes. We actually talked about maybe you have friends who are dragging you back, or you have some relationships that are not actually pushing you to move forward. So when you are setting up your goals, it's very critical that you also set goals in terms of your relationship with people, especially those who are closest to you. There are those that there's nothing you can do about it necessarily, right? If you have colleagues at work, you might not necessarily need to seek transfer or something, but then for their relation, you need to be very, very choosing the kind of people that you relate, because they help you with your goals, and they help you actually with every aspect of your life, especially if you want to make progress.
But I think also in that relationship, in those relationship goals we set, it's not only about how people are relating to us, whether they are helping us. We too, we should aim to be better friends,
Yes,
better
that's true.
colleagues,
That's
better
true.
encouragers, and all that things about how we interface with other people in our sphere of influence.
That's true. Many things rise and fall in relationship, right? And if that is not put into perspective when you're making your goals, a lot of things actually will go wrong, and you'll be wondering at the end of the day, why am I not making progress the way I should? There are friends that they just suggest to you to go somewhere that might not necessarily be bad, but it's really not also helpful to the kind of goals you set to achieve. So relationship is very, very important, the kind of friends that we have. So we should set relationship goals.
And also being able to say no.
Yes,
Certain
being
things.
able to say no.
Yeah, it's part of it. You should learn to say no. That no.
What's my role in this group? How will I be a better friend, right? And who are those who are not better friends, who are actually pulling me back? What do I need to do about it? So that is actually very important. And another aspect of our lives is also to set physical goals. I would say physical, that it has health, if I would say it that way. Health goals.
Especially as you hit 40, you must take health seriously.
Yes.
You must
That has
take
to do
health
with your entire lifestyle, right? As I said, when I was not cooking like that, I get to eat a lot of things that yes. You take particular meal that you already know that it contains it doesn't contain balanced diet, and you continue to eat it like that progressively. So you have to set health goals. Yes, it has to do with also your physicality, as I'm saying. Godly exercise profits so much. Physical profits little.
Something. It's little,
Yes,
but it
yes.
profits something.
Little as it is, you really need to set physical goals. How will I keep fit? How will I be healthy? And all of that. And thank God she actually brought that aspect of academic. Even if it's not academic, we have to just be progressive in our lives. Mental goals. What are some of those things that will make me to be
personal
better?
development.
Yes, personal
Things that would
development.
help
Yes,
you.
that's the better word actually. Personal development goals, right? So that there are other aspects. My life doesn't need to revolve around accounting or around law or around medicine alone. There are other aspects of life that I should explore also. That will help me to, yes, that will help me to interact with people better. So that everywhere they are, the only thing you have to talk about is law. This one is talking about this aspect, you don't have anything to say. So you actually need to develop yourself, and perhaps also skills, be able to do something, right? Be able to do something with your hands.
Outside what you have been doing normally.
Yes, even if you cannot fix something, I believe you can write. Even if you cannot fix something, we know people who cannot fix even a lamp holder, for example.
Like
but
this
you
year,
can,
I want to learn how to make online posters, and Jezreel is supposed to teach me.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I
if I don't learn it this year, please hold Jezreel responsible,
I'm
because
coming
I've told
on
him.
board too. I think
You pay him.
Yeah.
Not for you free, you pay him, but my own is free.
yes. So you should be able to set goals around this aspect of your life. Life is actually progressive, and every aspect of your life has to grow, even with time. The path of the just is like a shining light. It shines brighter and brighter. You
Yes.
must not remain in the same place every year. Yeah.
Yes, and then in addition to, or to buttress the point you made about personal development, learning new skills, reading books, and things like that, so that you know things that are not only within your
area.
this thing. Even as we get older, you need to be deliberate about using your brain, because I know some people ask, why are you bothering going to school?
Yeah.
I'm tired. Use your brain. Because the less you use your brain, the higher the chances of you having Alzheimer's, Alzheimer's disease and dementia as you get older.
True.
So use your brain. Learn new skills. Learn how to play chess for those who want to learn how to play. Learn how to play Scrabble, Monopoly. Those are games. But that chess, I don't know whether it's a game or it's so serious.
Yes.
It's so serious. But
I
read books.
had to even Google on chess. They said it even helps the brain too.
No,
Very
it
well.
does. It does,
Very
because
well.
if you are playing chess, you have to engage your brain.
you
And in the
think
past,
deeply.
they said all military people, especially military generals, had to learn how to play that game. I don't know whether they do that now, but
Strategy.
yeah, because
Military
yes, strategy.
Yeah.
Military, yeah, because you need it for strategy. So
That's true.
it tasks your brain,
Yeah.
but not just chess. Me, I've not been able to do it because I tried it in
I
school.
tried it once.
I felt it was too frivolous
Okay.
to be my occupation and
Okay,
too serious
okay.
to be a game. I felt when I'm playing a game, I should be laughing now.
Okay.
How can you be serious when you are playing? You see them, everybody's face is tight. They are moving. My children play it, but well, maybe I'll try this year. I don't know if they are around enough to teach me. Maybe I will try. So let's be deliberate to engage our brain. Never come to the point where you say you are tired of learning. Don't ever be tired of learning. Learn something new all the time. It's for our own good.
You can take voluntary work, especially for the elderly. Instead of sitting in one place and holding remote and filming it like this, volunteer.
So go
Volunteers,
out,
go out.
interface with people, talk with
Yes.
people.
Join youth ministry, join
Yes.
things around community service.
Because
you
Jezreel
know.
also said something that some of the new things you learn is more opportunities to interface with people.
Yeah.
And for goodness sake, as Christians, we're supposed to be evangelists in
Yeah.
season and out of
Out
season.
of
So
season.
we must be deliberate, seeking
Yeah.
opportunities
Yeah.
to interface with people, right?
Yeah. That's
When
true.
you are in a community and they are doing a community project. And they come and call you, say, I will send money. No, don't
Yeah,
send
yeah.
money.
Come out.
Wear your short knicker, go out. Wear your this thing, go out, go and carry
Join
shovel,
them.
join them. Don't, you may not be able to do the strenuous work. Maybe your presence there can even encourage
Yeah,
the
ginger
young
them,
people,
even if you are the
ginger
one sharing
young
water.
people.
Let them be
There was a
drinking while
time
you are
they
gisting.
did a community project in my place. I called my neighbor. I said, what can we do? She said, let's make kunu and kose. So we went, we got beans, we washed it. When we brought it, the people were so excited because they weren't expecting something like that. We brought kunu, we brought kose. They were now eating. The young people were happy.
And the work was sweeter.
And the work
Yeah.
was
The gist
sweeter.
will flow
So
well too.
participate
Yeah.
in things this year. Set goals to go out and participate in things. Don't always stay. I know that we are afraid to go out. I don't know, because all of us are behind our gate. We don't want people. We don't want trouble. Somebody will always say that those who don't want trouble are in the grave. Go to Zaria Road, they are there. But as long as you are alive, even if you don't look for trouble, trouble will look
find
for
you.
you.
Yeah.
So go out, mix with people. It's not necessary that you are going to make friends, but make acquaintances.
Interact.
Don't just sit yourself, only you and your family. When they say something is happening, say, when? I was
That's like me, old man. I didn't know they were kidnapping people
I'm telling you,
until
I was
like
in
1 year
Abuja.
after the event had been happening.
I was in Abuja 1 year, and there was crisis in Jos. And then somebody called me and the crisis was happening around our area. And somebody called me in Abuja and said that what is happening in your area? The person is in Jos. He said, are you people safe? I'm like, I'm not in Jos, I'm in Abuja. He said, please call your family. So I took the phone and called my husband and I said, what's happening in our area? I said, what is happening? You people have started. Nothing is happening. I said, okay. So I was relaxed. Later he called me, say, hey, something is happening. So please, let's not
Interact.
let's interact with people. Let's go out. There's nothing wrong in knowing the names of people. You're this neighbor here, you're this neighbor here, you're this neighbor here. Knowing their names. You know, my one of my neighbors told me that, is your son back? I said, no, he's not back. He said, we were gisting with him yesterday. I was like, you have his phone number? He said, yes, I have the phone number of all your children.
Wonderful.
And that was shocking to me because I don't have the phone number of any of his own children.
Wow.
And for me, I feel like that is not right. Since we are acquaintance, there's nothing wrong with having the phone number of the children. Because something could happen. You could call the children and say, please help me check on some. What if you call
And
the
even if
mother
it's just to
and
be
the mother,
encouraging them.
yes, the mother is not around and you are able to get the son. And, you know, I think, so I told myself this year, I'm going to get phone numbers of my neighbors' children, at least 2 of my neighbors' children.
that's
Please go out. It should be part of the New Year goal. Don't just sit in your house, you know, especially those of us who are behind gates. Just lock your gates and nothing is happening. It's not right.
So the other thing I wanted us to briefly also talk about is, you had raised it earlier, that before we set goals for this new year, we should have looked at
what happened
last year and see where the problems were. So yes, so we need to sit down. So it's not something you just do.
No.
Rush. You need to sit down, and that means you should have written last year's goals.
Yeah.
Then you look at them and see
How far
what you achieved, and identify what the problems were, and you need to write down. I think somebody told me yesterday that shortest pencil is better than the biggest brain, because you will forget if you don't write. So we'll write. Then for the family, how do we assess our goals as a family?
We should sit as a family.
Yeah.
I guess we sat to set the goals. We should sit again to assess.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we planned last year. Which one were we able to achieve? Which ones didn't go well? Why weren't we able to achieve them? What really went wrong? You know, and things like that.
Yeah.
There are some expenses that we didn't plan for that usually
Came up and prevented us from
and
maybe
prevented
achieving some
us from
things.
achieving some of our financial goals, and we have seen them. Maybe this year we could vote out some more money for such XYZ, you know, in case something happened, we have money to run with, you know. So family goals are set together, they should be assessed together and reset
for the
together.
next year. So that should be happening like when?
I think from December you should start setting
December.
family
When they,
goals.
especially if you have your children are
the
not
moment they
when they
are
all
back
come
on
home.
holiday for
And I also think that it's also good to help your children set goals. So nobody's too young to say. Once people can talk, you can help them set goals.
Yeah.
That's what I've said. I think I've been doing that with my children for the last 4 or 5 years. I have a notebook. So everybody's column is there. How spiritual goals, academic goals, personal goals, relationship goals. I'll write it. And I tell them, copy your own section and keep. At the end of the year, we go through it. Did you achieve this? No. This year when we were doing this, some people were laughing at other people. They achieved their goals. And then we'll find out why you didn't achieve your goals and what you can do better.
Yeah.
So I think even knowing that we're going to reassess your goals will even make you sit up and do what you need to do. So please, parents, nobody is too small to set goals. Even that your primary school age child, you can help him set goals, you know, or her set goals and say, okay, can you do this? What can you do about this? How do you want to be better in this? So that they start early to begin to think in that manner. Okay, now we've raised areas where we're supposed to set goals. So what do we need to do to make sure that these goals are achieved? I know we've set some of them, but maybe we'll reiterate some of them. Jezreel, you said we need to write.
Yes.
We need to write.
Yeah, we actually need to write. As I said before, there are lots of things that you will forget along the way.
Oh, yes.
And if you don't have where you will go to check for reference, right, to see what have I written, and what are the progress I'm making. Yes, then you'll be able to see the progress you're making. Because if you don't write, I'm telling you, a lot of things you're actually going to forget, because a lot of things will actually come, and it's not everything that you think about that you'll be able to recall. Yes, one, we need to write it. And secondly, as I said before, we really need discipline, right? We really need discipline. If you do not have the tenacity to make sure that you achieve your goal, it could be as realistic as possible as anything. And you could have all resources at your disposal, have everything within you to make you achieve that goal, without the discipline to start or to tenaciously remain in that
write
place.
your goals,
Yes.
start your goals, hold it, be tenacious, insist, go on, be disciplined, so that you can continue. Yes.
Yeah, because there are goals that perhaps when you are actually making progress, but when you actually hit a wall, you begin to
some resistance.
Yes, some resistance. Then you begin to get discouraged. Perhaps this thing is not doable. But if you are tenacious enough, you will see that you'll be able to break through. So there
tenacity.
are tenacity.
And since Nigerians this year, people have said that our goal is no greed.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No
your
greed for
goals, no
anybody.
greed to hold.
All your goals,
No
no
They say no greed for anybody. Oh.
Yes.
That's what the Nigerians have said. People have said no greed for yourself. So.
Yes. No grief for anybody, no grief for the enemy, no grief for for anything that constitute a hindrance to you actually achieving your goal. And another thing, as I'm saying, you should have at least a little group that help check your goals. It's easier to have in making my spiritual goals. It's usually to have people that I'm accountable to, because I know actually distraction, and then the enemy is after that aspect of your life very well.
You're moving around like a roaring
yes.
lion.
So before you know, just 1 month into your goals, you begin to see that you are trivializing a lot of things. This thing, I beg, let me relax small and all of that, and you begin to see that you are either going back or you are standing still. But if you have people who will help check you time to time to see how far are you going with this aspect of your life, then that will help. That is actually what I usually do. So
apart from people checking you, for yourself, maybe Mrs. Lambo, you speak to that. How often do you need to keep going back to those goals to see that to see you're achieving, or whether you're on the right track, or whether you need to reevaluate and change certain things? How often do you need to?
You know, the goals I set for this year, they're in the notepad I'm using for my devotion. So it means that every week or every day I entered into that notepad, I would see those goals in front of me. So if possible, some people have like a board in their room, a little news board.
They put it up on the wall.
Put it up on the wall, you know. So every time they enter the room, it's there. I know that my husband places his own on his cupboard, his wardrobe, so that every time he wants to open he will see the thing. So we could do things like that. You could just make sure you put it somewhere you can access easily, somewhere you can easily go to, and don't wait until after 3 months. Assess yourself, if possible, weekly. Check your goals. How far, whether you're on track or not. Every week. Check. Maybe you should set aside a day for yourself every week where you open the goal and look at it. Oh, I'm going to do this year. Am I working towards it? How much have I put together towards it? What is it that I need to get? Because sometimes if you have it in your head, you may be working or going somewhere and something will just click, or you may see something that will say, this thing, I think it will help me to achieve my goal. But if you don't have your goal in your mind or in your head, you will just pass. Opportunities will come, you will not see them. So That's why keep your goal in view, in front of you. Keep it in front of you.
Just we want to add something before we run out of here. They will soon drive us.
Oh, okay. I think one of the things that she actually said is that we need to actually set time, right, to achieving our goals. We are
So
actually
our goals should be time bound.
time bound. We are actually conversant with the acronym SMART, right?
Yeah.
There should be time
Tell
to
all our
achieve.
viewers what SMART is. That you know it does not mean that all of us will know it.
Okay, SMART. The S is specific, that our goals ought to be specific goals. The M is measurable, something you can measure.
Manageable, achievable.
Yes, yeah, and the A is attainable or achievable. Yes, the R is
Realistic goals.
realistic, and then the T is the time bound. Our goals need to be time bound also, so that sorry, no, I'm not apologizing now. I want to say, if you want to read the Bible, for example, you should be able to know how long. If you want to read from Genesis to Revelation, you should be able to know, okay, how will I break this thing, so that by January, how many
know
books
what
will I
I
have been
will
able to
achieve.
cover and all of that.
Yeah.
If you just leave it so vague and so open like that, you will, since you don't have time, you said that at the point in time, if
You can postpone and say, don't worry,
yeah.
December. I'll
Yes,
finish everything.
then you see yourself from September or October under pressure,
Sure,
and you are
to
not able
finish.
to mine anything from the Word of God. You are doing it
Just
just
that you meet-
religiously.
you meet
Yes,
the goal.
set time. Be able. Time will
Follow
will
it,
make you to be
yeah.
able to measure how you are able to achieve your goals, even at the
So
end.
for
of the day.
even for specific, I just want
Yeah.
to raise that. When you say specific, for example, you say you want to win souls this year. No, you have to say 10. I want to disciple 3 people. I want to disciple 2 people. And of course, you cannot say you want to disciple 100 people. That is unrealistic.
And even
yeah.
the discipling, okay, when will I start? Where will I get them?
Yeah.
Specific, be
specific
specific.
things.
Will I go for evangelism? In
Are they
where
in my
area? Which
church?
area?
Is it in my
What time of the day?
community?
What time do I have? Whether weekend or something. Just make sure that it's as specific as possible.
So we're going to wrap up here. It's time. They will soon come with a big cane or a big broom to sweep us out. Mrs. Namo, Jesulopa, thank you so much for contributing to this interesting conversation. And our viewers, I hope you've heard all the things we've said today. So I'll give you one sentence, last words.
Let your goals be realistic. Let it be smart, like we said.
Okay.
Let it be realistic, achievable, and be follow through. Don't allow people, and don't set goals because other people are setting goals. You are not out to impress anybody. Let it be that you are motivated for the right
Okay,
reasons.
Jezreel, last word.
Okay, for me, I know that life is actually progressive. Do not be stagnant, right? So therefore, you need to take every measure possible to make sure that you go further in life, in every aspect of your life.
So as the Bible says, move your tent pegs.
Yes.
Keep moving them.
Your path
And-
is
yeah.
your path ought to be
And enlarging your
progressive.
coast.
Yes, it needs to actually be progressive. You actually talked about the older people. So now to the younger people, many who do not have jobs and they are complaining and all of that, you talk about volunteering. Make sure that you volunteer. Make sure that you do something that that will make you actually to go forward and to go
So
further.
do
than-
something. Don't sit
do
down
something,
and
don't sit
fold your
down.
hands.
No
And
grief
above
for
all-
anybody.
No grief, as you said. And above all, please pray, pray, pray. The God
Pray,
factor.
yeah.
Without
Yeah.
God, you can do
can't
do
nothing.
yeah.
So let's keep praying. This year, let's pray more than ever before.
Before.
We know that the giants are great, but we must enter that land that
That's
God has
true.
called us to enter.
Yeah.
So let's keep praying. Let's focus on God. Listen to Him. Walk in obedience, even as He leads us in the direction we're supposed to go. And all the advice you've been giving here, 2024, you have to do great things
Yes.
for the glory of God. So God bless us. Thank you so much for not touching that dial. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you again, same time, same place, next week. God bless you.